moment of truth need to be understood at each and every touch point a customer is going through before buying to your product or after purchasing your product.
Thank you so much, sir, for again on the podcast, sir. Sir, I want to know about what is customer experience.
Thank you, Lokesh. Thank you having me. Let us understand what the customer experience is that. So the easier thing, let's take at first the customer, what the customer mean. We mean by customer the person who pay for the services or product we offer. That much the book definition, or we have been knowing that. And we usually call in our language or in written or communicated the customer things. We are billing for the customer, right? But one of the management guru, Peter Fader, he says that there is nothing called the customer. What it mean? Customer has a name. Customer has a social perspective. So today's customer is a lot of more than just a passive user of the product. This concept need to be understood by marketeer properly. It is not the era of 70s or 80s. We are living in the experience economy where the customer experience is an competitive age. So you can't use the pronoun the customer, adjective the customer. The customer you should use for a specific person and bill for one individual person. So this is the kind of new understanding or realization businesses are getting as far as customer is concerned, and they are trying to build n is equal to 1. N is equal to 1 and R is equal to G was a formula given by Professor Prahlad, C.K. Prahlad. Professor C.K. Prahlad was the first among the top 50 management thinker in the world. He coined this N is equal to 1 formula, or you can say concept, and all the companies right now are working towards that. Coming back to experience, which looks very easy, let's understand what the customer experience is. That I will come to that, but let's just understand what the experience is. That once you use the product or go somewhere, you may not remember a specific item or event or thing, but you definitely remember that मजा आ गया और बहुत बुरा था, बेहियात था, either positive or negative. Both are remembered for life. Whatever you remember now at this age of your childhood, those which has profound experience, whether negative or positive. So experience is very important, and experience has a 3 component. First is that memory, what you have in your memory that decides your experience. Second thing is that the sensory input, our organ of senses, 5 sense organ, they gives you the senses which gives you this 5 kind of perceptive input in your system. But third thing is very important about the feeling. If the suppose take an example, you are very feeling bad because of something else, right? Something happened in the morning, you are in bad mood, and some good thing is also around you, don't like it because your feeling level is bad, right? It could be vice versa also. Many times we are happy and we become more generous than we need to be for others. So the feeling incorporates a lot of things there in the experience. So these 3 things. Now let us understand the business meaning of customer experience. There was a time when companies were building product or services, selling it. They thought that the moment of truth is when customers see the product, pay for it, grab it, go it, forget it. Now you need to buy something, even if you are going to buy physical, by visiting physically at a store. All people have a tendency and do it that Google, right? You Google that. I'm going to buy a car, it is Google it. What is that? I'm going to buy a bicycle, Google it. I'm going to buy a book, anything. The tendency is you want to see online. So any company who says that, no, no, we are not digital. We are a brick motor company. It is a foolishness and myopic thing. And if you have been giving a great red carpet welcome at your store, in your business store, to your customer, but the experience of the customer in the website where they are going to check it is very bad. You have a very lousy kind of website, or the person who was deployed at the parking area of your store, the security person as well as the parking person having a very different kind of bad kind of behavior towards customer. These all are called touch point. So moment of truth is not only when customers see and pay you the money for the product or services. The moment of truth need to be understood at each and every touch point a customer is going through before buying to your product or after purchasing your product. How a customer feels about, feeling means neutral, very happy, or very gloomy, very bad. So you can say simple word, unaffected or not bothered to, and wow experience, or a tough bad experience. Simply you can classify it into three ways. Customer experience is being cognizant of customers experience by a business in its interaction at all the points, digital, physical, even in physical also, wherever they interact with anybody or any person or any physical resources, any kind of interaction with the product, with your business culture, all things in totality is called customer experience. So customer experience is nothing but sum total of all the experience a customer has with a business in order to know about the product, its services, and use the product and post sell services. So this is all called customer experience.
Want to be more concise about the customer, the term customer, because in our pharmaceutical industry, it seems very unique. See, as you told that before, like pre-buying and post-buying things. So in the pre-buying of the process, there's a like term called decision making, where customer finally decides that I have to buy this product. So, but in our field, who is actually the decision making is the prescriber, doctor, or any health practitioner. The customer or the patient is actually not the decision maker. So who is actually the customer in our field? Either it is the doctor or the patient.
Most of the people, while talking, referring to healthcare or pharmaceutical industry, they always, uh, there is always confusion. Who is customer? The patient, or the prescriber, or the retail chemist, trade partner who are paying directly. So who is buying the product? It is neither patient nor the doctor from pharmaceutical company, right? It is the trade market, the wholesalers who are buying the product and paying to that. Anyway, so this is very interesting perspective we need to understand first before moving to the how it is important for pharmaceutical industry, the CX. We in this industry we have consumers. In pharmaceutical industry, if you have to draw a line parallel to FMCG or non-pharma industry, consumers is the patient, right? Because patient consumes the medicine, they use the medicine. So patients are a customer, but customer has a different kind of element here. The one element is called consumer, who was the patient. Second is the prescriber, who takes the decision. Even if the patient is paying and he is consuming, he most of the cases is not deciding which medicines to be taken. So you need to have a prescriber. The doctor's prescriber is the customer who are taking decisions. And third is the trade. Trade is just a channel, but they are the people who are paying you to pharmaceutical company, and they are the people who take your products to the market, right? They buy from you. From customer experience point of view, all three are important. Not only that, something more which obviously doesn't feature here is also important. I tell you who are they. Number one, from the patient perspective. So patient is a child. Suppose patient is a child. Customer experience in case of pediatric child patient is including the parents of the child, because they are going to get bad or good experience in the hospital or using the product, your product as a pharmaceutical company, right? So all the people the around the consumer is also your customer. So when we refer customer experience, we refer the parents, the families, the spouse of the patient also. Same way, when you come to the doctor's point, it is not only doctor, but it's ecosystem, his nurses, his or her non-medical staffs. All ecosystem is part of your customer, who are playing a big role in delivering healthcare to the ultimate customer of pharmaceutical company, that is the user, that is the consumer. So the doctor's ecosystem is also important for a pharmaceutical company. Now coming to the trade partners, they are also important, because if you have a issues there and you don't have an innovative way of reaching to your patient, you also lose with the competition. So all three are important. When we talk about customer experience, we mean patient experience, we mean prescriber or physician experience, we also need or mean the trade partner experience. And the most important, I have 8 not said. What is that? The most important of customer experience, the most important element is your employee, those people who are going to interact with these customers, the medical representatives or the area managers, or whoever is going to interact with any kind of these customers. Their experience also matters. Somebody said that treat your employee the way you want them to treat your customer. In other words, treat your customer the way you want them to treat their customer or your ultimate customer. So we call it employee experience, EX. This is also incorporated in the customer experience. Why it is important? And people often believe that healthcare is a forced need. Nobody want to go hospital, but if required, nobody can say that I will not go. They are forced to go. They go there. So why to market that? Why to need to invest on the experience on that? There is a two element of that. Everybody, whether it is a patient or the family of the patient or the doctor, everybody is also a human. We call it human-centered design or human-centered approach. Everybody is a human, so it doesn't matter if he is a patient only or a patient attendant or a doctor. In addition to his MD, he also has another qualification called man or woman, right? Experience matters to them also, right? Further, just take a situation of, I'm talking from the pharmaceuticals point of view. So a patient got prescribed a medicine, assume that patient is a hypertensive patient, right? He has to take that antihypertensive pill long time, maybe lifelong to prevent the complications. And the way it is used, a very inconvenient kind of packaging, or if everything is fine, one day he goes to a chemist and chemist say, ये आपका तो बीपी नॉर्मल है, आप क्यों ले रहे हो इस मेडिसिन को, बंद कर दो. He also say, yes, my BP is normal, मैं क्यों ले रहा हूँ इसको, बंद कर दो. He discontinue without asking the doctor. Even actually he will not go to the doctor. डॉक्टर ने बोला था लेने के लिए लंबे समय तक, हर 3 महीने पे या 4 महीने पे, 6 महीने में मेरे पास आओ, और फिर से वही डॉक्टर लिखता है मेडिसिन, फिर से मैं वही लेता हूँ, तो डॉक्टर का फीस भी देता हूँ और मेडिसिन भी लेता हूँ. ये बेकार है, जब मेरा ब्लड प्रेशर तो कंट्रोल में है, राइट? ही कैन थिंक इट, बट व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट आफ्टर सम टाइम्स, as he discontinued the drug, he might get a sudden MI, myocardial infarction, what we call heart attack. And the first attack itself might be the last one. Means, so how customer experience can improve that? If you create a packaging, if you create a communication, the patient communication in such a way that it is able to communicate that, or the using the product is convenient, easy, and it also enrich you along with some patient program associated with that. Possibly his counselor will tell what the chemist told from his level may be right, but why you should continue using the drug. And if it is understood by him, then he will not discontinue, because discontinuation has a big risk of getting a first and the last heart attack. This is just an example. There are so many ways where from the perspective of a pharmaceutical company, patient experience is important. Coming to the next, which is very important, and most of the companies are 100 times, if not maybe 90 times focused on that is called prescriber. And it is not difficult to understand that if your interaction with the prescriber is not creating a good experience, if you get a negative kind of interaction experience, what will happen? A doctor will stop meeting that pharmaceutical company rep, and it is happening already. So you need to be mindful that while interacting with your prescription generator, the prescriber, the doctors, you need to keep the experience part in addition to the hard science part also intact. Same way, if your prescriber is visiting for a CME program, create something, give something which have a high experience there. So experience is not about one point, it's about all the touch point. You have to be watchful about that. Unfortunate part is that most of the pharmaceutical company don't have a system, what you call VOC, voice of customer. Many can complain of the customers, or even the positive feedback get lost in the hierarchy, never reaches to the marketeers. The companies should have a robust voice of customer system and the culture to capture that, and the rigor to process that proactively and deliver high customer experience to all kind of its customer, preferably here as they prefer prescribers, patient, and channel partners, of course, employee.
Talking about the interaction between the pharmaceutical companies and the prescriber, which is here our customers. So like it is very common to hear that many a times, like it's very often that the pharma companies are blamed to over pampering their prescribers. Many times even they are like kind of using unfair means as well. So on a scale of 1 to 10, do you rate these practices of customer experience by the pharmaceutical companies?
I think everybody's shy about talking about that, but more than the exception, this is the practice of pampering the prescriber. But pampering doesn't mean that you are actually ensuring a good customer experience. Pampering means two things. Number one, at one touch point, whichever the physical touch point with pharma rep and the doctor, you are doing some inducement, or you are just praising doctor, making him, कहते हैं हम लोग हिंदी में ना, फुलाना, राइट, उसको आप चने के झाड़ पे चढ़ा रहे हो कि आप सर तो ग्रेट हो, आपके बड़ा कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट है ही नहीं. And whether he know or don't know the reality, at least he feel happy about it and might give you one or two prescription in response to that. But that is not the sustainable, that is not what he will keep on. And everybody is doing that, right? All medical rep is doing the same thing. Then why should, so the challenge will be that who will give more buttering, who will keep more buttering to the doctor. Pampering means that, right? And doctors are not full. Yeah, they understand that you are greedy, you are saying this thing. Most of the doctors understand that whatever this person is talking about me just to get one or two prescription, and they are not going to succumb to that. It is not customer experience. It is a buttering, it is a pampering, it is the. So if you ask me rating a scale of customer experience, if you ask me, actually, unfortunately, in India, there is no index. There is a customer experience index globally in advanced countries, where all companies, like in India, all companies are ranked 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 or 1 to 300, right? You know that, based on the sales turnover, based on the market capture, market share, based on the market capitalization. There are different kind of parameter on which pharmaceutical company is being rated, or arranged in a ascending descending manner, right? Unfortunately, in India, there is nothing called customer experience index, and this is badly needed. Then you can rank which company is where. And second thing is that for a same company, have I improved from the previous year? If you know your customer experience index of your company in the year, suppose 2020, you can see that whether in 2021 it is improved or not, right? So this is the what I am talking to the pharmaceutical company. I'm saying that yes, there is, other than the sales comes very late here. Before sales, the experience metrics are there, which can be used to really know at a corporate level, at the head office level, how the experience is there. Not only that, digital system, digital innovation gives you access to one customer n is equal to one level also, to know his experience, not just with the company broadly, but in different touch point. The email you have sent, how he felt about getting your email, the SMS, the WhatsApp you have sent to the doctor, how he felt about that. Those things can be captured at every doctor level and can be designed from the head office itself, such a way that you don't make any error, any negative or any down towards or any tough experience for any of your customers.
So, like, I want to know about ki, like, customer service or customer experience is a different thing, or these are the same things, sir?
So
Yes.
there are multiple things like customer experience, user experience, brand experience, and there is customer service. So there is a very clear distinction between customer experience and customer service. Customer service comes once a person buy your product, once he become the customer. Then usually customer service starts post purchase interaction with you, and your customer is called customer service, right? Kind of warranty, kind of regular visit, maintenance kind of thing, all customer service. In case of pharmaceutical, if doctor is asking for a medical journal, medical article, or anything professional thing, how fast you are able to support that doctor, give it to this doctor, is called customer service in pharmaceutical industry. Customer experience is a proactive part which designs in advance. Customer experience starts before your prospect buy your product. Prospect means he or she is still not purchased your product. He might be your potential customer. That time itself, customer experience proactively designed. So it is just you can say prefix to the sales. Customer service is suffix to the sales. That's the broad difference.
Since the customer experience seems to have great importance in sales and like having a image of the product or company to the customers, so it's pretty obvious that we always need to keep on improving our customer experience. But to improve anything, we need to measure that as well. So is there any ways so that we can measure the customer experience?
People who believe that they know customer experience, they feel ठीक है ना, अच्छा है कभी बुरा है, but इसको how to quantify, हम इसको measure नहीं कर सकते हैं. बुरा है, बहुत बुरा है, अच्छा है, बहुत बुरा है, इसको quantify नहीं कर सकते हैं. Like sales, I can quantify that कि हमारा इस month में इतना sale हुआ, right? We reach target or not reach target. But what, how to set in customer experience, how to set that? And it is said that anything which cannot be measured cannot be improved. So if I'm saying companies to improve your customer experience, obvious questions comes that how to measure that. If you can't measure, you can't improve. There are plenty of different kinds of customer experience metrics. I will give a few example here, which are used for measuring the experience at different touch point. The difference is that some is used at some kind of touch point, other are used at the different kind of touch point. You can't blanketly use everything everywhere for all kind of customers. The most widely used in the world measure of customer experience is called NPS, Net Promoter Score. What is Net Promoter Score? You must know that. Net Promoter Scores is a measure of how likely your customer are willing to recommend your product or services to other potential customers. Very precise, very simple, but very effective and very useful tool. I don't know any pharmaceutical company using it properly in India, at least. Suppose I will give you much more simple uses of that. You are organizing a CME program. As a pharmaceutical company, you organize a CME program for your doctors. They came up, they went, sir, कैसा लगा CME? तो बहुत अच्छा था, बढ़िया था, सलाद भी अच्छा था और चिकन भी बढ़िया था, स्पीकर भी बढ़िया था, टॉक भी अच्छा था, हॉल भी अच्छा था, एसी भी अच्छा था. You are happy. डॉक्टर सब अच्छा बोला, थोड़ा खराब था लेकिन ठीक है, साउंड थोड़ा था. That doctor is happy, right? But this is not a measure. Next time, how you will time you want do again with the same customer improved version? Can you do? Nothing. You can't do anything. But if you precisely ask certain question for every item, for example, content. If you ask doctor for this content of CME, how likely are you to recommend this content to your colleagues, to your other professional friends? Rate it from in a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is most likely, 1 is least likely. And same question in similar way, if you collect from all the customers, and this way you can find out, there is a formula for that. I will explain you if time permits here. And then you can find out the NPS of that CME. Next time you are doing CME again, that time also do the same thing and see, is the NPS is improving or decreasing or going down? If it is going down, means something need to be taken care of. If it is going up, it's good, something is happened, right? So if you do some changes in the next CME and NPS is showing better number, then you can say that NPS has improved, means customer experience has improved. So NPS is one of the widely used metrics, marketing metrics, for measuring for a program or for a company, for a product, for a service, a measure of customer experience.
At the last of this podcast, sir, I want to ask you about some advice for the students, healthcare professional, and freshers in the healthcare industry, sir.
Okay, so the students who are entering into the uh, business now or joining the any organizations should also make yourself familiarized with this customer experience uh, part, which is becomes more important in post-COVID world. Pre-COVID world, it was nice to do. In post-COVID world, everybody is rushing to improve the customer experience because the digitalization which happens, I would say forced digitalization happened, which created a lot of bad customer experience. People are in particularly in healthcare sector and pharmaceutical, people are sending WhatsApp messages and doing online webinar for the doctors without considering the doctor's point, doctor's experience, and eventually it is backfiring them. It is not giving a positive impact, it is annoying the customer. So in this context, if you are coming with the methodology, understanding the concept for customer journey mapping, and then customer experience design, basic understanding of design thinking, customer experience design, and the framework of customer experience, the 6 pillars, what we call 6 discipline of customer experience, and then you approach any of your interview, I think your value, what you are bringing to the organization, will be higher than your other counterparts who are not familiar with customer experience methodology or the system and understanding. I think you can bring a lot of things. So what I suggest you, unlike design thinking, the number of courses are very limited. There actually rarely there is any good courses available in customer experience, but it is uh, growing up fast, and you will see that very soon you will get more focused kind of courses available. Nevertheless, there are books and articles coming up, webinars coming up most often. So as a student, you can read those books. I will recommend Outside In. The book, one book I recommend strongly to you is the Outside In. And there are plenty of book. If you search in you will find Google in search engine, you will find good books on customer experience, so that you can have a basic understanding about this. You can use it only when you are in the organization, and try to use it uh, as a small portion of, I mean, within your function. Gradually you can expand it further, doing something bigger thing also.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a great talk, sir, and like we learned a lot from this podcast, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
It was my pleasure, and all the best to both of you. All the best to all the fellows, friends of you who are pursuing the courses in different discipline in pharmaceuticals or management. All the best for your careers.